Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well. We are back, and this topic actually came up in some coaching calls, as well as just opportunities I've had to just fill in the gap and support people this week that are in my network, colleagues, family members. It's just been a very enlightening week. And so I really wanted to share this topic because I know that many of you are not new to this. You're not new to the space. I've even talked to people when I start to dive into what the opportunities look like for them to get in corporate. They're like, oh, well, yeah, I did this. And, I did this thing. And I'm like, those were contract opportunities. What did you do to continue to capitalize on them? Well, I just did the one thing and that was kind of it. And so, what I would like to speak to the person today that does have those opportunities and just trying to figure out how to continue to leverage them, because sometimes it's not about getting new people. It's not about how can I find the contracts or the opportunities. Sometimes it's about how can I leverage what I already have, the contacts, the connections that I have, and just speak very directly to what I'm looking to do and how I can serve these organizations. So that's what this is all about. If you're new, you're catching my live for the first time. My name is Kirsten Allen. I am a corporate contract strategist, award-winning marketer, published author, certified leadership coach, all the things. But here I come Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, to share topics on how to get into the corporate contract space and also infuse some personal development around leadership and resilience and all the things that I actually teach and train on in corporations. I bring a sprinkling here every week to those who are part of my audience. So, if you are interested in staying connected to what is the Get Corporate Clients Now community, this is the place to be every week on Wednesdays, where you can be able to dive into more topics with us, join in the conversation, and learn about the amazing things that we have going on. 2025 is a big year. It's time for you to step into the corporate space, whether you've done it before and kind of dabbled in and out, or you've been thinking about it. The time is now. Literally today, I just got off the phone with, well, not the literal phone, but a Zoom call with the university to come and do leadership training next year, right? So they have a year-long program. They decide, different speakers they want to work with in the summer, but I reached out to them. She took a meeting with me today, and we'll be continuing the discussion for me to come in and speak with the students around soft skills, value-based leadership, all the things that I'm about and excited to talk about through what? An email, a contact. So that could be a whole nother conversation on how to just tap into these opportunities. These, I won't call them low hanging fruit, but opportunities where people aren't already reaching in and tapping in. There's not enough people. I've heard it too often in these conversations that there are not enough experts in particular areas reaching out to these decision makers that truly can deliver amazing programs, workshops, consulting, speaking, whatever it is. And so more of us need to get out there. Okay, stick to the topic, Kirsten. One-off workshops. So typically when I work with people, if they have, as I mentioned early on, have had any type of corporate opportunities, it could be in the form of going to do a singular workshop with an organization. So maybe you have a client that works with you individually. They work at a company and they're like, hey, we need X, Y, and Z in our corporation. And so you get the or nonprofit or whatever it is. So you get the gig that way. You come in, you do what they need, and pretty much it's like, hey, or see you later. This was great. Amazing testimonials, and that's it. Missed opportunity. Because with one slight tweak, which we're going to get into today, you could turn opportunities like that from just a one-off into a long-term, one-year contract or even multi-year contract by continuing to solve the deeper problems. So there's one question that you want to ask as you are having these initial discovery calls, even if it's a referral. So if it's a referral and they're like, hey, we're just looking for someone to do this, blah, 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 you still want to have a full discovery call conversation. Ask them this one question. Tell me more about what's going on with your blank. Employee engagement. What's going on with your leadership development programs? What are your initiatives? What are you focused on? What are your goals? That's what is going on with this really gets to. Say it in your language, but ask the overall question. So yeah, we're here today to talk about me coming in to do a workshop on emotional intelligence. But since we're here, I would love to know more about what is the whole scope of what you do. What are you currently working on and prioritizing as it relates to employee engagement or productivity? Like, what is your focus right now? Have them tell you all the things. When you open up with a question like that, you usually get a whole can of worms of things. And so, yes, they came to you for this particular need, but you can bet your bottom dollar that they have a million different other needs that can be tapped into if you start the conversation from the very beginning, looking at the long term. So, asking that question opens that up. Then you can kind of start to peel back the onion. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this. You said that this was really a challenge, but it seems like there's something over here in this area too. Tell me more about that. Tell me more. Let me hear more about this. Well, what about this? Inquisitive, investigative questions are always going to help you be able to uncover more solutions that you can provide. So, in your next discovery call, referral or not, when you step into that conversation, don't just be an order taker. Well, you're looking for a workshop. Okay, when is it? How many people? What are you looking for? All the things. Instead, yeah, as I did the approach before, yes, we're here to talk about this and we're going to get to that, but tell me a little bit more about this. And then weave in, okay, well, you said that this was an expertise, so I've got that. Is there anything else around this that I should know? Okay, well, so based on our conversation, it actually looks like there's 3 key areas that you all are focused on right now that could really help to strengthen your leadership, could help to promote additional employees to look at opportunities to stay within the company instead of going out. Like, whatever their things are, summarize that and say, okay, based on this, I want to do something a little different from what we discussed initially. So I want to share with you what it would look like to do that workshop. But based on the 3 priorities that I talked about, I think we can actually do more. So beyond emotional intelligence, I also have workshops in these particular areas that you mentioned. And I think we could do a phased approach where I come in and start with this one. And then perhaps the next quarter or next month, whatever the cadence would look like, I can come in and start on the second topic and really see your employees through an entire scope so that you can be able to get the full ROI on what you're looking to achieve. That was dang good. Woo, I could sell myself on that. But anyway, that's the way that you want to think. That's how you want to go, like, from just surface level. Because here's the thing, they have the other needs, right? And so once they only see you as what was referred to them or what was told to them or whatever, so they see you as that one thing. They have another need. They're going to go and find someone else to fill that need. They don't know that you can do it too until you uncover and peel back the layers. That is what selling to corporations, I know that in particular because my expertise, but just selling in general is all about: solving problems. It's not about being an order taker. This is the difference between, self-checkout person and a personal shopper, right? If you go to Walmart, you go in there to get some eggs, some milk, or whatever, you go to the self-checkout, boom, there you go. You go into a luxury store where you got to wait. Well, this was pandemic times. You didn't have to wait in lines before, I don't remember. But pandemic times, you would have to wait in line for a personal shopper to come and get you and walk you through the store and show you the bags or the shoes or whatever that you're looking for, right? And consult with you. They would ask you, well, what type of straps do you like? Do you like this pattern? Do you like this, the classic, or do you like the larger monogram patterns? What colors do you like? And really help you be able to decide based upon your full scope of needs, which item is the best fit for you. So when it comes to running your consulting business, running your coaching business, or whatever it is that you do with corporations, treat it like a luxury designer store. We provide customized solutions. And here's the thing. Oh, this just dropped to me. Even though when you go into Louis Vuitton, or that's what I was thinking in terms of stores, but Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, whoever, the bags are all the same, right? But the personalized experience that I get when I have my personal shopper, I can come in there feeling like I got a bag made just for me. because maybe they show me like, hey, you can get this particular strap with it, or we have this wallet that goes with it, and puts together like this whole bundle of things based upon my needs. And actually, nothing has changed. They didn't go and create a new bag just for me. It's the same product. And for you, the same system or the same approach that you're delivering. But the way that you might be positioning it, packaging it, changing out a strap here, adding a wallet, all these things that are, figuratively used in your business, you could do the same thing and provide a solution that feels customized. That was so good. So, as you are moving forward, think from the lens of that. Instead of being the Walmart who's just coming in, you come in, self checkout, buy what you need, let's go, see you later. Build a relationship. Another thing they do at luxury stores, they'll hand you their card. They're like, hey, if you see something online or you want to come in and get something else, like, call me directly. Okay. So again, major difference. Self checkout, you leave and go on to whatever you're doing. Personalized experience, you get the card, you get the phone number. If you think of anything else, you can contact them directly. They might even reach out to you sometimes and say, hey, I know you were looking for X, Y, and Z. We just got it in. Do you want to come in and try it on? What are you thinking? Relationships. That's how the big deals move. And oftentimes, inadvertently, I see very smart people treating their services and showing up to sell like they might as well be the order taker or the self-checkout computer at Walmart. Quite simply, be the luxury brand. Give them a personal shopping experience that gives them a customized element that, even if everything is technically still the same, the way that you put it together, the way you ask the questions, the way that you help them see beyond just, hey, I came in here for a bag, but now all of a sudden I'm leaving with a bag, a wallet, and maybe a pair of shoes too, because we talked about all of my needs and how they went together, and this person was able to customize something for me. So, speaking in the terms of these workshops and how to turn it into a long-term engagement, yes, you come in and do the one thing, but you could create a series where it's 4 workshops over a year, once a quarter. That could easily be a 6-figure contract. Why can't it? Easily. So instead of just getting in for a few $1,000s, $5,000, $10,000 to do one, why not make it a series and do 4? Why not suggest doing coaching after your workshops? So yes, you come in, you talk and do the things, but maybe there are some executives, or maybe they have additional questions as a group that you could do office hours for, do a Q&A for, do a hands-on activity. Like, it could look so many different ways of how you do it. But if you don't start with the end in mind, which I talk about this in my book, then you're missing the opportunity. Don't be the order taker. Think about how you can make this a year-long or multi-year long engagement up front. And not to say everybody's going to jump in it and go from, oh, well, I wanted a workshop, and buy a whole series that time. Number one, they could actually do that if it makes sense and if it's within their budget, of course. But you've painted a picture. At the very least, you've painted a picture of what you could do beyond that initial need. And so when you present options to them on how they can move forward and work, yes, you're going to show them it would look like this to do a singular workshop. But if you would like to do a series, which I think will be a lot more effective towards your goals and the things that you shared with me, it's always got to be aligned. You can't just make up stuff just to make it up. It's actually got to be something that makes sense for them. But based upon that, I would suggest doing a 4-part series in these particular areas so that we can really work with the staff over time to get the true and maximum value out of the work that we're doing. And this is what that would look like. So giving them options. I've seen this work definitely in the in both spaces, but most times it's heavily used in the B2C space to have some type of upsell. You get on the sales page, there's usually something there that you can click and buy. I don't have the stats, but I know for a fact when you make that offer, even for my own personal business, when you make that offer, most people will take it. So same thing in the minds of the B2B space. Make an upsell, give them an opportunity to do more with you up front, and you'll be surprised how many will jump on it, especially when they see the value. Exclusively when they see the value, they will jump on it, period. But if you don't make the offer, they don't know. And again, like I said, they'll be back at the drawing board trying to figure out how they can fill in the other gaps they have when you can fill them all with me. Like, let's just make a relationship, make this an account that you have where they feel their needs with you, whether it's you right now or you hire someone and train them on your methodologies and they go out and deliver things with you as well. That was a genius idea that I just heard recently on a financial workshop about getting people to duplicate you up front and your processes up front rather than later down the line. That's the whole thing. But scale it up. That is how you can start to have multiple long-term engagements, especially as the CEO. You're busy, you're doing all the things. You may think, well, if I commit myself to this, one, is it going to be a lot? It doesn't have to be. Like I mentioned, 4 workshops a year, six-figure contract. Why not? If it ever does, train someone on your team or get another peer or whoever to learn your methodologies and be able to deliver it so that you can duplicate yourself and be able to scale this to have multiple contracts with other corporations. And you're delivering the same thing over and over and over again, rinse and repeat. Mm. I hope y'all, I am like, oh, so excited about this. And I hope that you all are going to really see what you have in what I'm saying and actually execute on it. Because if you do, you can literally blow up your business overnight. One contract can change the trajectory of your business overnight. One yes. We're not going to say one company. One yes can change the trajectory of your business for 2025 and beyond. One contract could be your whole annual revenue goal for some of you. What if you could land that in February? What? Wild. And then you just have the opportunity to continue to stack and stack and stack, do the things that are already working, bring in the funds that you're planning to do, still run your plan just as you've assigned to, as you have designed it as, but just think about that one opportunity just from some targeted outreach and also using the contacts that you already have. If you've ever done anything with any type of organizations where they have paid you, especially, you need to be going back to them today, book some time on the calendar, ask that question, make that shift. Like I said, it's just a small, slight shift. Instead of being the order taker, be the person who discovers and pulls back the layers and partner with them like a personal shopper. Build their wardrobe, build their whatever, walk with them side by side to get what they need, and then make sure that they know you're the person to call if they need anything in any of this area, not just the one thing they referred me for, but I'm the go-to for this. I'm the go-to for leadership development. I have this amount of experience in this. These are my sample topics, but I have plenty of content and material that I can do around this area. So when you ever have a need or a request for this, come to me because I likely already have some material that I could deliver for you. And since you and I already have a relationship, let's continue to expand and do the things that you all are looking to do in your organization. You got to come like that. You got to be real confident with it and understand not only the value that you bring to the organization, because many of us have understood that, but just understanding your place, right? You know the value that you bring and what results people have driven. But sometimes the block can be, well, what is my space? How do I articulate this? How do I maximize the opportunity? How do I leverage what I have? That's the type of confidence that you need in order to turn these one-time opportunities into, long-term engagements. Okay. I could talk about this forever. I love, love, love being able to show people how to walk through taking what they have and turning it into amazing opportunities. So I want to give you some action steps after watching this because this was really, really good. So take an audit. If you've ever done any workshops, if you have any contacts, what you guys do, like I would be willing to bet. I talked to a colleague probably 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point, and she was like, I think I do know someone in HR that I could do this work with. And she was like, I just never knew what to say or what to ask. So I gave her a prompt. She texted the girl and she was like, yes, like you want to do this for us? Like, let's talk about it. So people are all around you. I'm thinking about the folks in our 21-day challenge right now, which we are in our second week and it's going crazy. Everybody's getting meetings booked and doing all the things. But one of the challenges was to tap into your network. And almost everybody who's live in the challenge right now got a meeting booked just from tapping into their network. They would have never thought to do that if they hadn't had the language on what is it that you're offering, the positioning, and what type of people you need to reach out to that are already in your atmosphere. So again, it's not about it's not always about finding more people. Yes, you want to be able to get out there, make sure the word is out there because again, you're just looking for that one, two, three yeses, and that could really change the game. But three yeses playing small and just trying to be like, oh, well, let me just do this one thing to get in. That's not the approach that you want to take. Start big and let them scale you back, right? Like that's the mantra of this. Start big, let them scale you back. But you don't want to start small because then again, you're only giving them, think if you're thinking about like a pie or something or a cookie, you're thinking, okay, I have this whole cookie. Well, let me give you a crumb just to see if you like it. And then you're going to come back and try it again. It's like, no, here's the whole cookie. You can either decide to have the whole thing because I want you to have all the goodness, or you can decide to break a little piece off every now and then go from there. So I'm gonna let go of my analogies today, but I think I did some really good ones for y'all to really like let this sink in. So yeah, I got off the action plan. Who is already in your contacts list? And then invite them to a conversation where you ask, tell me a little bit more about what it is that you're currently prioritizing, or what are your goals around leadership development, employee engagement, marketing, um, finance, whatever it is that you do. Typically, I do work with people to turn their services into workshop programs or talks, coaching, like leveraging the coaching they're already doing to do an organization. So more of that professional or personal development are the folks that I typically work with. But corporate contracts could be all across the board. Merchandise, like events, it really could be catering. It could be so many different areas. Tap into it and understand what type of things they're working on now and get the breadth of it. And then be able to say, even in that example, like with the catering, yeah, they may have called you for one event, but you need to be asking them, okay, I know you guys typically plan for things well in advance. So what does your entire year of events look like? Yeah, you can book that one time to do that, but then they might find, oh yeah, we're going to have this leadership brunch in a few weeks, and I'm also working on, this conference and that. Okay. Well, look, if we're able to do a multi-touch point engagement, then that would actually be able to give some value to you. We do price advantages for those. And if we can get you locked in for, or if we can, get you in for the year for all the events that you have, that can secure our time. You'll be able to, like I said, get a price advantage there. And then we'll be able to start a relationship knowing that we're going to work together over these series of events and it's already covered for you. What do you think about that? So I can put together something where, of course, we address the need that you have today, but let's also look at these other events as well, because I think that'll be valuable for you to see how we can support you overall. That way you don't take the guesswork out of finding out what you need to do for those other events. Simple question. Give them the whole cookie, not just a crumb. Okay. Let me be quiet. If I know this was valuable for you all, so I don't even have to ask that question. I would love to hear your major takeaways from this today. And what are you going to do next in order to turn one-off opportunities, even from the very beginning, into long-term contracts? Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Now, if you're someone that's listening to this and you're like, okay, this was great, I have some ideas, but I want to get your support, Kirsten. I don't know what it looks like. I have additional questions. I want to get your brain and work with you and your team to be able to do this at whatever level that I'm at. Then I want you to reach out to me with the words corporate, and let's set up some time. I actually have some time on my calendar this week and early next week for 15-minute audits. And essentially, on those audits, what I do is I look at what you have. So, what is the expertise? What have you done in the past? And also, please come with some goals. Think about, what is it that you want? Why do you want to get into corporate? Obviously, most people want to do it to grow their business. Okay, what does that look like? That helps me be able to see, based upon your goals and your expertise, where you would most likely fit in the corporate space. And so that's going to make the best use of our time if you really come thinking about, even if you don't know how it's going to look in all the pieces, what is the desire? What is the reason your interest that you have for going into corporate? So you bring that there. And then by the time in 15 minutes, I can get you a good next step on how to move forward into the corporate space. Like, whether that's, hey, you need to get on and reach out to these people on LinkedIn. Hey, you have someone in your network. Here's a talk track to go and share with them so that you can get them activated and understanding what it is that you do. Hey, you need to adjust your offer, your service, in order to make it more attractive to corporations. Here's how you would potentially speak about it. All sorts of things that I've done in these audits. I've done dozens and dozens of them at this point, and they're always valuable. So if you are interested in that, DM me the word corporate. Let's have a conversation about it. And then if from there, there's an opportunity for me to support you deeper in one of my programs, working with me one-on-one, or our done for you services, I'll let you know more about that. Okay. And as always, if you ever want to see the work that we're doing, the clients that we've worked with, you can always visit my website, which the link is on my profile. I also post it here, but it's kirstenjallen.com/WWK. And you can see our wall of success stories and clients that we've worked with, as well as get an understanding of our frameworks and methodologies and all the things. All right. So claim your audits. I don't know how many I currently have on my calendar right now, but jump in. I know I was earlier this week, I had 5 slots. I had a couple that were grabbed. So jump in, DM me that word corporate for the link, and let's get you set up for 2025. I want y'all in it. I want y'all getting these big opportunities. I don't want you thinking, I don't want you wishing, hoping, none of that. If it's something that you feel like you and your business are prepared to do, let's get it done. All right. Until next week, back here, 4 p.m. Eastern, another topic. I'll see y'all then.